well, this is day for you, a weekly wrap. This is actually day early, because we're moving today and I'm putting, I don't even know what's going on. But I figured I'd do this today rather than try to get it done tomorrow when I don't even know what anything's gonna look like. So I read quite a few books this past week. I've been stress reading. But first up, I did finish up As Many Nows as I Can Get by Shana Youngdahl. This is a book about this girl who's very academic, very like STEMmy, and she is, you know, kind of looking forward to going to college, stuff like that. And it also deals with her relationship with this guy who's also very intelligent. Like they're kind of like kind of like the smart kids in their school. This guy that she's dealing with there's a lot of like addiction issues and stuff like that. We're talking about that. We're talking about teen pregnancy. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot happening. This book is also told in like alternating timelines. Like we see some. And you do eventually figure out why that is, but you see some like now, or then 3 years ago, or 8 months ago. It was decent. It was pretty good. I did enjoy it. I thought the characters were interesting. Was not a fan of this humanities slander, but you know, it's okay. But no, I liked the characters. I liked how it kind of turned out. I know a lot of people get kind of blindsided by how just kind of dark and sad this book is. Although we got a blur from Kathleen Glasgow on the top, so I'm not sure how that ends up happening. But overall, it was decent. It was okay. I mean, I had a good time with it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read, oh man, it's a picture book. That was actually one of my childhood favorites, and that my mother found and like gave to me. And so I put it in the book wall because that's how I'm going to get a book. But that is Guess How Much I Love You by Sam McBratney and Anita Jerome. This book was actually given to me by my grandma and her husband, probably like when I was born. So that's just about this little rabbit and his parent. Cute illustrations. It was a good, you know, walk down memory lane. Because it was just a walk down memory lane, I just gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read a manga. That's the second volume of Given by Natsuki Kizu. This series is so good. It's so good. So what the series is about is it's about this these two guys, and this one guy, he plays guitar, he loves guitar, and one day he's going up to where he normally like takes a nap during lunch, and there's this guy sitting there and he's like, what the hell is this? Eventually, you know, like he teaches so they can play guitar, and it's very cute. The art style is gorgeous. This is like a really good like middle ground between like typical BL and like Sasuke Miyano, which is like the slowest of slow burns. Like it's so good. It's so cute. It's so well done. Like I am very excited to keep reading this. I am like also watching the anime right now. I'm farther on in the manga than I am in the anime, but it's so good. I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm very excited to keep going. Then I read another like young adult contemporary. Is Kids of Appetite by David Arnold. David Arnold was really big like back in the day. Mosquito Land was everywhere. But this book is about, so this one guy ends up dead. This girl's uncle, and this is kind of deals with, you cut between police interviews and kind of like flashbacks what happened to the lead up of the murder of this uncle. And a lot of people have said that this is very much like the John Green flavor of young adult contemporary, where everybody's very pretentious and their vocabularies are way higher than any teenagers. And I would agree. I'd say this is definitely John Green flavor of young adult contemporary. And it's even from, I want to say like 2016 or something. Yeah, 2016. So it's like, it's very much a product of its time. It is interesting though, because like a lot of things at that time, we've got a main character with just like a big thing that they did a lot of the times, is that they would have like just the weirdest like diseases or conditions that they'd slap on their main character. Like the main character, this one has facial paralysis, which is interesting. It's just like a little weird. I don't know. The way it was handled was a little bit weird, I guess. I don't know. I just didn't really understand the point of it. Not that I guess people need a point to have facial paralysis. It was just an interesting addition that didn't seem to really have much of an impact on anything. But it was okay. It wasn't bad. I think I ended up giving it 3.75 out of 5 stars. Then I read an occult nonfiction book. It's called Great Unsolved Mysteries of North America by Lionel Martinez, which deals with Bigfoot and the Bermuda Triangle and UFOs and stuff like that. It was it was fun. The thing that actually interested me the most was they're talking about this place, this big, like, in this big city, this one place. Talking about pirates too. That was kind of fun. What was it called? I was like, I'm interested in reading more about this thing. Was it before that? Come on, come on. Stuff disappearing. No. Come on. Oh, I bet it's around here. Yeah, because they're talking about crimes and stuff like that. Yeah, the old brewery. Like, that sounds so, like, I want to learn more about that place because that sounds just wild. But no, it was just dumb. It was a fun time, but like, there's nothing really going on. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read 2 of my own books, because that's just what happens when I publish books. I put them in the book wall and then I read them. First up is my most recent, which is a short story collection. That's Graduation Day. This is short stories, essays. It's very short, 88 pages long. It's a fun time. I think that I like a lot. Some of these stories are like a lot older. Like a couple of these I wrote when I was in high school. And I tried to kind of go so it's like newer story, old story, essay, and I did that about 4 times. So some of these stories I think they're a little weird. And they have some of the problems that I generally had when I was writing in high school. But I think they're still kind of fun. I do think Tree Climber's Nonsense is one of those, and I think that it kind of holds. I think it's cute. I think it holds up. I don't know. It's like this cute little romance thing. I don't know. But yeah, pick this up. It's a fun time. And then the other one was the 3rd and final book in the first arc of the Tinan series, the Tinan trilogy. There's going to be a sequel arc, as well as a bunch of novellas, which is very sad. But the 3rd book is Born. And so this series, it's a fantasy series. I complained about it a lot, but it kind of matches me today. But this series is about this fantasy world, and in the first book we've got our princess who is just dumb, and she decides that she wants to go out and do something before she takes control of her country, and so she decides that what she's going to do is she's going to go on this like environmental rampage, and ruin everything for so many people. And then that kind of continues on, and things get more complex, and this is the 3rd book in the first arc. So it's a complete trilogy at this point. And the main story is over. So yeah, they're all in Kindle Unlimited. So there's that. That's a little bit longer than Graduation Day. Still not very long. Then yesterday I stress read 3 books on my Kindle. The first one was Fearscape by Nenia Campbell, which is about this girl in high school, and she ends up she's got this stalker, and she doesn't really know like what's going on, who it is. It's scaring her, and as well as this is going on, she ends up forming a friendship and maybe a relationship with a cute TA from her art class, and he's like a little bit off, he's a little bit weird, but she thinks he's kind of cool, and you can kind of see where it's going. I thought it was interestingly written. I think this one is I believe it's from about 2012, and it's definitely a product of its time, where we've got it almost seems like a genesis of like, the dark romance that we see a lot nowadays, although it is for young adults, so it's not explicit or anything, but it is definitely dark. I mean, there's definitely a lot of dark elements to it. It was well written. I liked the writing. I don't think it was like for me though, like just in general. It wasn't really my cup of tea. But it was well written, and I would be interested in reading more of what Nenia Campbell writes. I know I follow her on Twitter, and I really enjoy her tweets, so I like her. So yeah. And then I read so the Stuff Your Kindle thing. I would just read on my phone. I have the Kindle app downloaded, and I was just like looking around, and I just downloaded a bunch of stuff, and I did read 2 like shorts. They were like 30 to 45, 50 pages, Aurora. First one was Taken by My Boyfriend's Ex by Cara, Cumberland, which was it was a little weird. I'm not sure, like it wasn't as bad. Like, I think the worst erotica short I've ever read was this British one. Because I just like couldn't get over the British slang. I couldn't get over it. This one was it was okay. I mean, it was pretty meh. It was like whatever. It was a little like, but it wasn't bad. The other one I liked more than I wanted to. It was called Omega's Fate by Wolf Specter, and it's like, it was just really entertainingly written, I'm gonna say, but it's like a werewolf Omega-verse thing, and I'm like, this is not something I've ever read outside of fiction, but the way it was written was really entertaining. The characters were really like well established. I thought it was a decently fun time. The world building, there wasn't much, but there was some, especially for like a ridiculous amount for a 46-page short. So I kind of like that one. But yeah, I read those. Currently, I am trucking my way through Children of Blood and Bone. I've kind of been going slower these last couple days just because I'm like stressed about the upcoming move. But I'm working on it. It's good. I'm liking it. I like the characters. I like the prince the most just because I think that he's got the farthest to go. He's got the most potential for character development. I think he's just now starting to not be a total jackass. So that's been fun. It's a gorgeous book though. Oh my god, like I can't get over the fact that like under the cover it's like beautiful. So that's what I'm working on right now. Hopefully I should be able to finish it before too long, so I can get some more stuff done. But oh Jesus. These are the books that are this past week. That's all for you today. Talk to you later, and goodbye.